the boys is back. The black is hot. I said all that before, but you didn't get it the first time. That's okay.
Black is hot. It's a hot black. Oh, man.
No, this a live look. We're gonna look live.
You can look live.
Yeah, it's a live look.
It's a live look.
Bro, you just got back from Venice.
I did.
Not
Venice,
California.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Not Italy.
The fucking...
Not an Italian boy, you know?
The Mecca.
Fishing capital of the world, baby.
Yeah, how was that, dude? Like, I heard a lot about it before you ever even went.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard a lot about it. Like, ever since I've been working there, they've talked about Venice for, like, years. And all the trips they've been on and shit, and, like...
Was this the first one you were invited to?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever been.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So, it's pretty crazy. It was, Dude, it's insane. That place is crazy. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I would like to do, like... It's kind of hard to get... Because it's like a somewhat expensive trip, like, to do... You know, every couple months or something like that. But that place is fucking, I mean...
Why don't you just make
sick.
it an annual thing like with them?
I mean, I think that's kind of what they want to do, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it started at. Back in the day, they were going once a year. But,
I'm sure.
just with, like, you know, the other restaurant opening and then COVID and all kinds of shit. It's just like, they haven't really been able to do it. The last time they went was... Well, Frank's been twice since I've been there, and Waller's been once since I've been there. But the last time they all like went together was like 3 months before I started working there. So yeah, it's been a while since the whole crew has been together up there, over there. But yeah, dude, it was crazy.
So how has has that been the furthest you've been out?
No. We didn't go.
You went out to an oil rig.
Yeah. So the rigs there are like 7 miles out, 10 miles out.
Oh, I thought you were saying something like 60.
The rigs here are 60. Well, the rigs over there are really... So once you get out of the Mississippi River, like there's little rigs the entire time you're running out. But they're like, 10 foot tall or whatever. But then you get like 10 miles out and you have those gigantic... huge oil rigs. And yeah, they're like, 2 miles from each other, so you can just hop from rig to rig. They run, in bands like this and then like further out. So it's like 10 miles and then 15 miles, 20 miles. There's a different, basically lanes of them.
I wonder if those are just like checkpoints for the oil to travel through like a pipeline.
Yeah, I don't exactly know. I know there's different ones. Like there's some that were actually like pumping, I believe, because they had like, you see in movies where they have the like fire at the top of them, because they're running. Like multiple of them are like that, and I don't know if that's just some kind of gas that comes off.
Yeah, so it's burning off the excess. Yeah,
but a lot of them were actually like in like the process of either drilling oil or extracting oil or whatever.
That's
the first time I've ever been to an oil rig or seen an oil rig like that.
Yeah.
Like, because I've never been to Pensacola's rigs before, but I've been 60 miles out, but just not to the rigs.
Yeah. So when you're that far out, are you guys like dropping an anchor, or are you guys just floating around?
Yeah. Well,
so you got to pay attention not to hit the oil rig.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You don't have to stay away a certain distance.
They don't. No, I think there are some.
I feel like there's got to be a regulation where it's like you got to stay like.
I think that it might be like
300
a 200
yards
foot rule or something like that.
Because if you hit the oil rig, I'm sure something could get
not
iffy.
A good idea.
Yeah,
not a good idea. But like, I've seen videos of like divers trying to dive the rigs and stuff to like go spearfishing and shit like that, and they get in trouble because they're too close to the rigs. But even the manned ones, like we saw people out like walking around on the rigs and shit like that, they don't really... The ones that aren't being used anymore, because there's like quite a few that are just unmanned, like just out in the middle of whatever that aren't nobody's on. They just have constant like beepers going on. So every like 10 seconds it's just a loud horn to let everybody kind of know like, okay, this is here. Like a lighthouse almost.
Yeah, I guess in case it's dark and they don't see it.
Exactly.
You would think they would have like solar powered lights on it.
Yeah.
So like whenever it's fucking dark, it would be bright as shit or something. Or like at least glow in the dark tape. I mean,
Some,
fucking
some. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what the whole deal with all that kind of shit was, but it was an insane experience. While we were there, the first day we got there, we weren't fishing, but we got there and it's like cold as shit, right? So we see all these people getting off the boats, like fueling up, and these are like $1 million boats, right? These are boats that I've seen pictures of and videos of, and like I've never seen them in person, but I've always like, oh my god, like that's fucking Captain, whatever, that's Captain that guy, and that he
Captain
runs that boat.
Savaho.
And like we see all these dudes pulling up and they're like hopping off the boat and shit like that, and they're all like soaking wet and freezing cold. And like when you see captains and mates that have been doing it for 20 years getting off their boat, like fuck this.
Yeah.
So you know it's a cold day, you know?
Yeah, and y'all are not even.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten on the boat yet.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, cool.
Oh, fuck. I hope I packed enough clothes for this
fine.
shit.
Yeah.
But the first day we were there, like I was saying, we were at the docks just kind of watching everything come in just to kind of check out what people are catching and trying to get some info on what's going on.
And what even are you guys going to catch? Do you know yet? Do you have an idea for what you're looking for?
It kind of depends on the day, man. Like, depending on what...
I mean, I don't know if you've
people are
heard
catching.
this saying before, but there's a million fish in the sea.
Yes, there are quite a few.
So, like, how do you game plan for a certain fish? Like, I assume, like, fucking they make bait specifically for something, right? But
Well, it's like-
I'm sure all fish are like, that shit smell pretty good over
Some of
here.
them are... Yeah, some of them, like...
They're like, you're eating
They're
that?
very specific about what,
They're hitting it?
Yeah, but a lot of it depends on the day. So, like, depending on you, whether you've got an east wind or a west wind, you're going to go east or west. Or, whether it's flat calm, you can run further out. If you've got tuna biting on one, specific spot, or somebody saw bait balls or something the day before, like, that's where you're going to try and go because tuna are going to be around there or whatever. And then, like, we were trying to go for yellowfin tuna, but the tuna bite was just not hitting.
I have an idea.
There. What?
You get a female tuna and you put her in a cage.
No. It's
Yeah.
not.
Because it's going to attract all the male tuna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
I get what you're trying to get at.
So you put that in the water.
Well, I don't think that would work. But
have you tried
I'll
it?
ask some people.
Okay. I'll look into it.
I'll do some Googling. But yeah, so we were trying to go for yellowfin, but the bite was not hitting. So we ended up trolling for wahoo, which was sweet. I've never caught a wahoo before, so that was awesome.
You did then?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that was my first wahoo.
I don't know shit about fish, so I don't know what you sent me a picture of.
That's the really long one I sent you. The like long skinny looking one.
Is it the one that you're holding up?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's
sick.
got like tiger stripes on it and shit.
It's your size.
Yeah, it's 5. They were 5 foot. Yeah, they're
That's
big.
wild.
They're big. I mean, that's the thing. They're long and skinny, so it's like that one weighed like 50 pounds or whatever.
Really?
Exactly. You'd think they'd be like 120 pounds because of
Yeah.
how long they are.
They
but
lighten
they
their
are
ass.
skinny, But the thing with wahoo too is there's not a lot of waist on them. Their head's really small, so you get like 35, 40 pounds of meat off of one of those wahoo because they're like there's not a lot of waist.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I got to catch my first blackfin
when
tuna.
you said not a lot of waist, I thought you meant like it had a small waistline. And I was like, dude, it didn't look like it to me.
boy looking like Rocky out there with that waistline.
So when you were like, not a lot of waist, I was like, that's weird that you're like judging his waist, but okay.
He's thin. He's a thin boy.
That's a thin ass boy.
But yeah, so that was cool, man. I got to knock that off. I got to knock wahoo off the list. I got to knock tuna off, a blackfin tuna off the list, which was cool. We
Now,
didn't catch any yellowfin.
Were there
which was
any fish
unfortunate.
out there that you catch like? I mean, you fucking seen the things where you catch a shark, you cut the heart out, you eat the heart right there.
No.
There's
Shark heart.
yeah, I got the heart of a shark. Shark heart.
Shark heart.
You
Yellowfin, you would do something like that. If you like your first yellowfin, if you catch like 100-pound yellowfin or something like that.
Yeah, what do you do?
It's your first time.
You cut the heart.
I've seen people do the heart stuff, but a lot of it is cutting the tail, like a tail section, and eating it right on the boat, like that.
Word.
Yeah.
What is the thing where they do the eyes? Because there's like sockets of fat right behind the eyes, and some fish that tastes like butter or something.
I've seen that in deer before. In
Maybe it's
specific
deer.
type of-
Maybe it
there's
is
a
deer.
Specific type
I
of
might be
deer.
fucking that one up.
I
Maybe
think
it's
there's
deer.
a deer, but I don't know if there's a fish that you eat the eye of specifically. I think you can eat fish eyes, but
I mean, Fear Factor would say otherwise.
yeah, no, they eat all the eyes, but
All the eyes.
But yeah, man, it was fucking yeah. So we trolled for wahoo both days, which was tight. We caught 7 wahoo, which was awesome. We caught quite a few blackfin tuna, which was really cool. Got a jig for those, which was a cool experience, like being in 300 feet of water and like, you know, you're halfway up and then your shit gets eaten by a shark. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, that's fun.
Like how much weight of bait do you have to take out there? I assume like hundreds of pounds.
We didn't use any live bait. We did not use any live or dead bait.
So what is
time. We're trolling lures the whole time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they'll just bite off the way it looks, not even off of a scent.
So
because I assume fish go off a like a scent, but it's like in the water, so it's like a different than like smell.
It's a lot of like oils and stuff. Like when you buy like chum and stuff like that, when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're trying to like attract fish up, you buy something that's really like bloody first off because you want that in the water. But a lot of it is like menhaden, which have a really high oil content because the oil carries a lot further and it's a lot, you know, stinkier. So there's that when you're talking about bait. But with lures and stuff, a lot of those fish are attracted to the side, just the look of them. You know, like you've got really shiny
and the way it moves,
color,
right.
Like and wahoo specifically are very aggressive fish. They're like the second fastest fish in the water.
What's the fastest?
I think one of the marlin species is the fastest, but I think it's black marlin that are the fastest. But wahoo will swim.
All the things in the water.
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
But I think wahoo are like they're really close, but they swim like 60 miles an hour. They're like fucking crazy. They're insane. But they're very aggressive. So if something is in their territory and they don't like it, they'll fucking snap that bitch in half. You know, like that's what. That's what a lot of those baits are meant to do. Is like make a lot of rattling and shit, a lot of noise, so they can see it and feel it, and then they'll just come up and fucking like. And that's what they do too. Is they a lot like king mackerel and wahoo. They'll hit it one time most of the time to break it in half just to kill it, and then come back and eat the rest of it.
That is absolutely savage.
Yeah, no, they don't give a shit, dude. They're crazy.
Like what the fuck?
They're the scariest. Like in that picture, I don't know if you watch like because it was a live photo. But if you watch it...
Oh, I didn't even hit the live on it.
If you watch it, I'm holding it. And this dude's been in the boat for like 10 minutes, right? I'm holding it up or whatever. And I feel him on my ankle. Like, and the boat's swinging. So I'm like, oh, he's just rocking. He has his mouth open. And he's like trying to get my ankle, dude. Straight up. Shit. Yeah. Like, they're scary, dude.
No, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that it was even a live photo.
Yeah.
Typically, I look for yours like that because you send me a lot of that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was a crazy experience. It was, I mean, that was awesome. Super cool, man.
So all that fish goes back to global, or is it like you catch and release?
No, we don't catch and release, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it's to friends and family and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
that's dope, dude.
Yeah, man, it's
I haven't fished since like man-made lakes when I'm like fishing for like catfish or brim.
I know we talked about this at one point, but what is keeping you from saltwater fishing?
I don't even know the difference. Was that not saltwater fishing what I was doing?
Man-made lakes. They put salt in the lake.
Dude, I bet you if I tasted it, it'd be pretty fucking salty.
No, it's probably for like you're catfishing and shit and bass fishing.
I know all the information I gave you was everything I knew about it.
Wait, so say that info one more time.
I said it was a lake and we're catching catfish and brim. And anytime I've ever had catfish, it tastes pretty salty.
Usually, okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Salty usually isn't the first thing people use to describe catfish. I'm not going to lie. But salty? No, that was probably freshwater.
We're in the South.
Yeah, they put salt on all of it.
Salt.
Yeah, you should come saltwater fishing with us, man. I think
again, I don't know what the difference is. What
bays and in the Gulf and shit like that.
What is the difference between a bay and a Gulf?
The bay.
Okay, so
the Gulf of Mexico, right?
We're all in it.
Nope.
All the water around us isn't that the Gulf of Mexico?
Well, there's the bay and then there's the Gulf.
Okay.
So the water. So okay.
Explain away.
Okay, so you know the 3 Mile Bridge. Okay, so that's a bay, which is like water from the Gulf, but also fresh water that's mixing together in the bay right there. And then you have another bay that's between Gulf Breeze and Pensacola Beach. That runs all the way to it basically runs all the way to like Perdido, right? It's still saltwater, but it's not like, it's not Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
So there's the pass, which is, it opens from the bay to the Gulf of Mexico. And that's where we do a lot of our fishing is Gulf.
Word.
So, but that's the thing is in the bay, it's all saltwater shit. So, and I mean, there is some freshwater. So like you can still catch catfish and shit out there. But,
I mean, I'd be down to.
Why wouldn't you?
I'd be down to fish, but the thing is, like, dude, I get fucking motion sickness real easy. Like, since I've been an adult and I've been driving, like, from the moment I started driving myself, I've been primarily the only driver. But I prefer it that way. Like, if I'm not driving, I get car sick really easy.
Yeah.
And it's like,
do you trust like what's it called?
Anyone else driving? No.
No. Not those people. What's it called? Not Motrin.
Do I trust?
Motrin?
No, you're talking about Dramamine?
Dramamine. Would you fuck with a Dramamine?
I don't know that it works. Like, maybe it works.
I can promise you it works. For sure.
Yeah, so you get motion sickness?
No, but I've seen it work.
You've seen
I
it
literally
work?
Watched it.
It's not a thing you watch.
No, I'll tell you. So
it's
on
a
this
thing
Venice
you
trip,
feel.
On this Venice trip, the first day. Okay, so Frank's best friend Kevin, shouts out Kevin. Well, they're all up in St. Louis, right? But he brought down two of his people from the kitchen, Dylan and Alex. Okay. Alex is a girl that's never been like offshore ever. So she took Dramamine the first morning. She took it like the morning before we got on the boat. She was seasick all day long, all day. Like, I mean, honestly, straight up trooper, because she didn't say a fucking word. Like, she wasn't like complaining about anything. She wasn't like she had her head in a bucket most of the day, unfortunately, which sucks.
And she was throwing up the whole time?
I mean, she threw up quite a bit.
Damn.
But so she was in a terrible mood, which sucks, right?
Yeah.
And then that night, somehow she was like, "I'm gonna try again tomorrow," which. First off, again, she got balls, because I would definitely not be doing that. All right, after the first day, I'd be like, you know what, water ain't for me. I'm gonna stay home. But so she took Dramamine the night before and that next morning or whatever. The next day, she was perfectly fine the whole time on the boat. She caught her first wahoo out there. Yeah.
See, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like a lot of factors play into me getting like seasick, and that's like. The same factors that play into me getting car sick.
It's a lot in your head, bro.
It is.
It's all in your head.
But the car sick thing I don't think is in my head. It's if I don't feel air moving around and if I feel direct heat on me, that fucks with me. Like, just talking about it, I'm starting to get sick.
No, I understand what you're saying, dude. Like, I get it. Because, like, there's some times where, like, we're out in the middle of, like, it's, like, 110 degrees. We're in the middle of, nowhere. We're, like... We've got the anchor down and shit, and we're not moving. Like, that shit sucks sometimes. Where you're like, whoa.
It's like I gotta have some sort of like... But even when we were parasailing, like... I was fine when we went out, and then I was fine when we went up.
It's just the sitting. It
was the sitting while the other 6 couples went that fucked me up, because I was like, cool... I didn't imagine everybody. I don't know what I thought was going to happen.
It was just y'all.
I really did.
Yeah.
Like, when we first signed it up, like, I really thought it was just going to be us. And it's like, dude, there was 6 other couples there, and it was fucking. I mean, this was like almost a year ago, it feels like. Oh, yeah, dude, I guess it was almost a year ago. So, like, that was super fucking me up. Like, it just gets you in a weird vibe. Yeah. Like, it feels like you're out of.
I honestly think it happens to everybody. Like, even Frank talked about while we were there.
Dude, when I was a kid, I didn't have this.
Well, see, that's the thing is, like, when I was a kid, I had it. Like, I remember being seasick a couple times as a child. And that was because I, like, didn't really know too much about it. And would, like, the worst thing in my head is not being able to see the horizon. So, like, as a kid, that's what I'd fuck myself up because I would go into the cabin and, like, try and sleep, But that just made it worse. But even Frank talked about when he first got his boat, like, however many years ago it was, he's like, every other day I'd go out and, like, I'd just throw it. Like, that's just how it was. He would just get seasick. But after, like, a month or whatever, he's like, I just got over it. And like I said, when I was a kid,
After a month on the boat, he got over it?
No. Just like after a month of like every weekend or whatever going out and just being seasick.
Oh, okay.
It just,
I was like, dude, if he's living on a boat for a month and it took him a month to get over it, that would fuck with me. I'd be like,
but like
boats ain't for me.
But I mean, like I said, even when I was a kid, I had issues with it, and now I don't. I mean, but that's the thing is, it's gonna happen to everybody at some point. I don't care how cool you are, you're gonna get seasick at some point.
Well, I feel like maybe not. Like if you're born into that shit, like.
I mean, but that's the thing is, like, even Anthony's. I've never seen Anthony seasick. Never. He's never been that dude, and he's not. And even like when it comes to like when we're partying, when we drink a lot or whatever, like I'll throw up. Right? He does not throw up. I've seen him throw up like twice in the 10 years I've known him, you know? But like, I think it was this past, one of the last times we went out, it was like 3 to 4 foot. And in his boat, 3 to 4 foot is fucking a lot. And like, we're sitting there and I'm dropping down, we're fishing or whatever. And he's like, I think I'm going to be sick. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to throw up. And then he was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to throw up. And he just got sick. I was like, I was fucking weird.
And then, does it just pass?
No. Most of the time, it sticks around all day. But he kind of just, I don't know.
Because, like, when you're on land and you're sick, you throw up, you're good.
Well, it depends on what kind of sick you are, though.
Yeah, true. It's like motion sickness when I'm on land, dude. I'm fucking, that's it. That's it for the day. That's it for the day.
Really?
Might even trail on into the next day.
Well,
it will definitely fuck with how I sleep because I'm like... Dude, what used to really happen is, like, when I was younger and I would go to the beach, you'd spend all day at the beach.
Beach.
Whenever you're a kid, you'd spend, like, all day out there. You come home, take a shower, like, deal with your sunburn, and then you would lay in bed, and it would feel like you're, like...
Yeah. Still
in
like
the water still, and you're like, whoa. Yeah. So I don't consider that seasick because I wasn't seasick. Yeah. I felt that's like unbelievably relaxed.
That's like sea legs. I mean, that's what that is. Like, when you're on the boat for long enough...
Never heard that term like that.
When you're on the boat for long enough, like, if you spend, like, 10 hours out on the boat and you have, like, some rocking going on...
Yeah.
Your body just constantly moves with the boat, right? So then you get back home after, like I said, 10, 12 hours on the boat. You go get in the shower and you close your eyes and you're like this in the shower.
Yeah, and you hit the wall.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Until you're like, oh, shit, you know?
Dude, you ever be in the shower and just rub your eyes too hard and then you're like...
Yeah,
dude, I've almost lost my shit.
Yeah, why is the shower such a unknown place? Like
it's all one color.
But if your eyes are closed, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's another all one color thing.
But
so you're doing two things that are all one color.
All the same.
So your eyes are going from completely back to rubbing them, and then whenever you open them, it's typically a manila.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know many showers that aren't that, or like a gray or something, but it's like everything is typically the same color.
Yeah.
So like your brain is like, hey, we just left a color. How are we getting into another color? We need,
but it's all the same color.
Yeah, we need something, and you just kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like the only thing that caught me was when my knee hit the side of the out, not the wall, like the tub wall thing.
Yeah.
That caught me, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude!"
Yeah.
I've never fully fell in the shower. You know,
I thought you did a couple weeks ago.
No, dude. Like I will have things drop.
Dude, I thought you.
It's because your fucking tub is porcelain or whatever it is.
We were in the same shower.
We weren't in the same.
Not in the same shower. We were in the shower at the same time. That's what I meant to say.
That's way closer.
That's what I meant to say. But our bathrooms like back up to each other.
Yeah.
So there's only like, what's in between the shower? I guess the closets, really. But anyway, so
I don't know. Nothing. Our showers do butt up.
Okay. Anyway, so
showers.
We're both in the shower, separate showers,
buddies.
Different showers, not the same shower,
separate times,
separate showers,
same time,
separate showers.
Yeah, there's a wall between us.
And
we should do an eye cutout. I see you, motherfucker.
But I'm in the shower, like, you know, doing my thing, and all of a sudden I hear just a fucking.
You just hear like,
thud, dude, like, and I was like, holy shit! Like I was in the shower and I jumped. I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't hear anything else for a minute, and I was like, do I need to get out of the shower and go check on Cook? Because I thought you'd just like passed out, like you like hit your head or something, and like I didn't get out of the shower, but.
Yeah, you didn't even come. Not even once.
You
weren't even. I didn't even hear a.
After
yay!
Because I heard after that, after like a minute or two, I heard you like moving around again. But I was.
You're like he's probably just got a concussion, dude.
Oh, he's fine.
No, dude, I just drop bottles sometimes, you know?
Yeah, that shit's
Shit in
loud.
there is
Shit's
slippery.
thudding, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you should definitely give it a shot at least. Just come out and try.
The
You know?
issue is I wouldn't want to ruin everybody's day because if I get motion sickness,
Yeah.
we're turning around.
Yeah.
I'm not staying out there all day.
Yeah, no, I know.
You can drop me off,
Yeah, no, I know.
and then y'all can go back out because I don't want to ruin everybody's day. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't do the fucking.
Yeah. Like I said, man,
It's like an all thing. It's not like you can. This is the other issue with motion sickness is, like, it's not like you're going to the fair. The fair is a different beast because if you get motion sickness at the fair, you can chill for the rest of the night still at the fair.
Yeah.
Because
have to ride
it's
no
not a
rides.
requirement. Yeah.
You might
That's
have
why
bought the wristband, but that's only $20, you know?
yeah, so like I don't mind going out there with like my sister and her family because like I'll ride a ride, but guess what? This is the ride, so make it worth it.
Yeah,
I'm going with the kids, so you guys understand you're not
pick.
going to get this because I'm going to tell you I'm going once, and you're going to try to do this over and over again. But I'm letting you know, like if we're going on these teacups, that's the only ride. So make this teacups ride worth your shit.
Only. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll do the fucking Twizzler, whatever that shit's called. And they'll want to go right back and do like the fucking Ringer or like
Zipper or some shit.
the Pharaoh or something. And I'm like, you had one shot.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
it.
Dude, I used to be able to run that shit all day as well. But it was like, I remember going with my friend Grant. And the last time I remember being okay, or the first time I remember having a limit, I should say, which was also the very last time I could do anything really. We were like 16 and 17, and we were able to do like every ride you can imagine. Like we did all the big ones, and it was only towards like the last two, so we maybe did like 11 big rides. It was like the last two where I was like, "Oh, maybe I should have ate before this," but I don't know. Do you eat before motion sickness or whatever? I don't know that answer, but
I wouldn't.
like we were towards the end of it, and I was like, man, I probably should have ate. And then I remember the next year going, we did 2 rides, and on the third one, I was like, hey, man, I'm calling it. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go, like, I might have went to the fair again, but I didn't go on any rides for, like, years. And then I recently tried, like, maybe 3 years ago. I went on one ride, and I'm like, that ride was half too long.
Yeah, man,
I can't do things where my blood's going all in one location.
I get it, but I think a lot of it is psychological. I think a lot of it has to do with in your head, you know?
Oh, yeah, I feel it all in my head.
Well, I know, but I think it's just like you think about it and then you're like, oh, I'm thinking about that. And then they're like, oh, why am I thinking about that?
Dude, honestly,
wait, I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, but,
you know?
Well, maybe that is for you, but it's not for me. I'm not thinking about getting car sick when it happens. Or motion sickness on the water or any of this. When it happens, I'll feel it when it hits me and I'm like, oh, shit.
Weird.
I don't feel it until it's like on me and it's already too late then.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, like, if I'm getting sick in another way, like I remember training, I only threw up one time ever training. Mm-hmm. But it turns out I had COVID and I didn't know it until like a few days later. So I feel like it had to do with that because I like overtrained one night. There is what it felt like. It was like a really hard session. I get home and the whole drive home I'm burping. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to be burping.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling weird. Almost like car sickness, but it wasn't. It was just like, whoa, something's weird. I walk inside. I'm like, I think something's wrong. And I walk outside and dude just fucking threw up so much stuff that I don't even know where or whose it was.
Who it came from. Yeah. Who put this all in here?
Yeah. I was like, who was I holding this for?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. And then typically after I throw up like that kind of shit, I'm like, I'm solid, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a G after that.
I mean, most of the time, yeah, once you get one good throw up out, you're usually pretty good. But that was that seasickness shit, man. No, it just ruins your whole fucking day.
It feels like like behind your eyes and your temples.
Yeah.
Like in that space of like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it doesn't help that you're trapped in the middle. Not trapped, but like you are literally like 20 miles from anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. But whatever. But yeah, I think you should. You should come, even if we just do like a bay trip or something like that. So we're not even like far out or something. So you
Like,
can
let's
still
start with
see
a dock, like fish off a dock, you know?
Um, but yeah, man, fuck, dude, it's starting to become that time, dude. It's starting to be
What is that
real
time?
fishing time around here.
Fishing time's like hot.
Yeah, warmer weather. I mean, you can still fish now, but not many people do, just because a lot of the seasons aren't open.
Word.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe
getting everything ready.
we'll figure that shit out. Like, I like kayaking. Maybe we can fish off a kayak or something.
Fuck yeah, we can fish off a kayak.
I could do that.
All right, fuck it, let's do it.
Like I said, I'm driving. That's different.
Yeah, let me drive the boat.
Yeah, I'd be like, we'd be trolling like 3 knots, and y'all be like, slow down. Like fucking hauling ass.
No, man, kayak fishing's fun too, man. Over in them little, like, in Bayou Chico and shit like that, dude. Right now is a really good time to do that. Because of, like, speckled trout and redfish are all back up in there now. It's cold. We got a cold front coming in tonight.
Maybe we make a fucking trip, bro.
Yeah, dude, we should try that. That'd be sick.
I'd be down.
Yeah,
My weekends are available.
pretty open.
Yeah. This weekend, dude, I'm going to fucking Jacksonville to run a Copa over there.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up.
Yeah,
You stoked about that or what?
It's gonna be fun, man. I haven't been to a venue in Jacksonville for like tournaments, so I'm curious to see like how nice it is. I booked it and it had to get rescheduled from last year. There was like a conflict, and we finally rebooked it to this year, and it looked nice.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's like kind of in the heart of Jacksonville. It's not like a sub city or whatever, but
It's like downtown.
yeah, it's nice.
area?
It's like a volleyball arena type thing,
Sick.
but it'd be
That's what's
dope,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna swing by and see my dad before I leave over there,
Hell yeah.
so I'll be able to spend a little quality time. He got a new porch, bro.
Front or back?
Back.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Ain't
that
no
old
stilt
rickety
rig,
joint,
huh?
dude. I remember it was me,
That
you.
shit'll give you motion sickness right
Yeah,
there,
me, you,
dude.
and my dad were on it, and I was like,
How
"Can
much?
we all be on this?" Like,
How much? What's the weight limit?
yeah, because maybe just you, you know?
Yeah. He's like, no, it's fine. I was like, when's the last time you had more than one person out here? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I've been out here bumming it out.
Yeah. Damn, that's
But yeah,
what's up,
he got a brand new one, and it's bigger. It's extended, so
Like out this way or along with
both,
the...
I think.
Fuck yeah.
Which is also weird because like you see how his house sits. It's on a fucking hill, so
Yeah.
his porch is like on stilts.
It's up there too, dude.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize it, but that motherfucker's what, like 10, 12 feet in the air? Like straight
Yeah,
up?
at least the back of his house.
Yeah.
But when you walk into the front of his house, you're on the ground.
Ground.
Yeah.
The front porch goes into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is always trippy to me when like you'll be driving like in a Rarity Point or something, and they'll have shit that's on stilts, and I'm like, dude, obviously I know these are pillars and they're like fucking drilled into the ground and shit like that, so they're like super stable. But in my head, I'm like, dude, if you fall and hit the wall on the inside of the building, the whole house goes. In my head is what. Yeah, I'm like, hey, let's not be jumping around in here together. Nobody getting rambunctious.
You see the stilts down there? Let's chill out, all right?
No horseplay, you know.
Yeah.
She gets.
That's not a house I would want to have children in.
No, yeah, dude, and like fucking, you know, Ryan and Cedric. Ryan got married, and we had the reception in a stilt house or whatever you call those.
Stilt house.
What do you call those? It was a condo on the beach, but the bottom, like where we had the reception, was the
it's like a
garage
beach
thing.
house, yeah.
But there was no cars in it. We're just hanging out like chairs and everything.
Those are sweet though. I
Dude, it
low-key
was-
fuck with that. Like,
It was dope, but bro, pricey.
oh,
They told me what it was because they got a Airbnb for the weekend.
yeah.
But they told me what it was. I mean, it might have been for a solid week, and we just like started it with the wedding reception, and then they just hung out for the rest of the time. But good God,
Yeah, dude, Airbnb or renting any place on the beach is like fucking crazy. Like, I was gonna rent for my birthday weekend, I think it was. I was gonna rent. I was gonna try and get my grandparents' condo in Portofino, but they were like, just see if you can find, because they had somebody else coming to stay or renting the place or something. So I was gonna just rent one just to do it or whatever. It was like $600 a night.
Yeah.
Like $600 a night for one of those fucking things. I was like, what the fuck? And I was trying to get it for like 3 nights.
I'm not trying to put his business out there, but I asked, and I'm pretty sure they said it was like $5,000 for the week.
Yeah,
and
no,
I was
that
like,
does not surprise me at all.
bro, why don't you just put that into
Yeah,
your
like
fucking
$1,200 a
house
night.
that you're buying or something? Like $5,000, dude.
Yeah.
Like go spend a week there alone. Like you ever been alone in your own house? Pretty nice.
No, it's good. It's a good time.
It's great, dude.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me at all, dude. That shit's crazy, man.
I remember that being the night that Connor fought Khabib.
It was
that night. It was me, Paige, Cedric, his wife, and I think somebody that both Cedric and Ryan worked with together at the time. And I was like, hey, so I saw y'all get married, and like we're at the reception, and I'm like, hey, but I'm just letting you know, like y'all aren't buying the fight, and like it just wasn't allowed to be bought there, kind of thing. And I was like, all right, that's cool, and I love you, and like
But here's the thing.
This is history. Yeah. It's not like fucking Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya. Like I can watch that back later. This is like the fight at the time. So I'm like, we got to dip. Me, Cedric, Paige.
Did Ryan not watch it? Ryan stayed.
He stayed. Of course, he stayed at his wedding.
I mean, it's his reception. It's different.
Yeah, but it's like
just go for a while, watch the fight, and come back.
But this was Pensacola Beach. We all left and went to Ale House.
Oh damn, that's a drive.
Yeah. So,
why'd you just hit Hooters? Wasn't Hooters? Anyway,
I don't know. That was the only place we knew, and it was like everywhere was booked out.
Yeah.
We even had to stay outside for like an hour before we could get in.
Yeah.
It was fucking tough.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were. I think you were working, but
probably. I think I watched it at.
I thought you met up with us.
Maybe.
I don't know, but clearly, like, it was a wild fight, wild night. But
that's funny, man.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was at the same time. Like, obviously, when he booked the wedding, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I think I have something to do that day." No, I don't. And then, like, the fight got booked, and I was like, why does that date look so familiar? And I'm like, I don't know.
What's going on with that date?
Yeah, that's awfully close. It is the same day.
You said, oh, wait.
Yeah, so fucking...
Dude, that was tight getting to watch the... that was the first time I've been... I mean, I did miss the co-main because of that. But we got to watch the
main event, yeah.
Whittaker
rematch
fight.
Which...
At Ale House.
I mean, how did you see that fight going? Like the result. I would have liked to watch it again back and really pay attention. Like
that's the thing I don't like is that you can't watch stuff again.
Yeah, you can't watch stuff again, obviously for very obvious reasons. Like
it makes me so upset.
What they should do is let you watch it again the next day.
Yeah.
For half price, or pay full price and be able to watch it for a week.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what's the...
The footage is already out there. People have ripped this.
If you post it on YouTube, it's getting taken down anyway. Like, you're not going to do
anything. Well, not even that. Like, it's going to be out everywhere, and so many fucking accounts, like Instagram, fucking... I'm sure Snapchat or, like, whatever these other social media sites, I'm sure they have MMA accounts that do shit like that.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go to the UFC page and then hit their fucking tags.
Yeah.
You're going to see every result, every angle, good footage, bad footage, like fucking...
Yeah, it's...
everything, dude.
Well, because I wanted to watch, because I missed it, I wanted to watch the Derek Lewis Tai Tuivasa fight.
Did you... were you able to
I found the knockout. I found the last, 30 seconds of it.
Yeah.
But to try and find the whole fight, like, most of the time on YouTube...
Dude, yeah.
Most of the time on YouTube, you can find the fight within, 2 hours. Most of the time. So if you miss a fight, you can, which most of the time I do because we're at work. So, the last, whatever, I'll miss a fight while we're closing or something like that, and then I'll get to watch the last 2 or something. So I'll try and go back and watch them. But the thing is they all of them will, zoom in really close on shit, so you can only see one person and the other person, landing shit. So you don't see the whole fight, but you'll get it for, 2 hours, and then after that, everything's wiped clean on YouTube.
Or
you can't watch it.
Or have you... do you know what abridged is?
Mm-mm.
So they do anime, whatever anime series, and then they'll do like.
Is this an app, like a streaming app?
No. This is like a version of how they do a season. So
Okay.
abridged, they'll just get to the fucking parts that mean anything.
Gotcha.
And they'll only show you those parts.
Yeah.
And even if those parts are long, they'll cut it up to where you only see the parts of those parts that you absolutely need to see to understand what happened.
It's like the spark notes of a.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, they'll do these things where they'll stream the fight live on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it'll be so zoomed in that you don't see certain punches. You see like somebody's shoulder and you're like, is this a fight? What's going on?
What is this?
Yeah, where am I at? It's almost like you're in a fucking circus and you're seeing like the fucking motorcycle going round and round and you're like, I'm barely seeing part of a cage sometimes. Like, what the fuck? So it's like hard to see those, but sometimes what like WWE pay-per-views will do is they'll do an abridged version where you'll be able to watch the entire pay-per-view. They're not doing this.
Right.
Somebody else is ripping it.
Yeah.
But they'll record. So they record the entire thing, but they'll only show you in increments of like 5 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And it cuts another 3 seconds out.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, oh my God, Stone Cold's here. And then it'll be cut. And then it's like, Brock Lesnar stomped him out, and then you're like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah,
you're like, it went from the entrance
they do that
to the end of the match, and I'm like, "Hey,
yeah, they do that shit with the UFC stuff too," and it's like,
yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's like, dude, don't even put it out. Then don't even put it out.
It pisses me off more to watch a shitty cut up video.
Yeah, or if you're trying to fucking avoid the result, like you couldn't see the fight, so sometimes somebody wouldn't want to see it at all,
right?
Versus seeing highlights, and then you're gonna not even be as interested to watch the fight, but don't go on social media at all.
No, dude,
not at all. Don't even have your app open.
I would fucking
no notifications.
I would turn your phone over because even if something crazy happens,
dude,
you'll get a news feed alert on your iPhone. Your iPhone will be like, "Fucking crazy star just got knocked out," and you're like, "What is going on?"
So we came home. And we like said goodnight to each other. Fucking, I'm not 1 minute after I close my door, I get a call from Cedric. And he's like, bro, I had to talk to you about that main event. How'd you see that going? And I'm like, dude, it's so wild that, like, even though you're not here, like, he called me. I assume he called Ryan. He didn't tell me or not, but, like, he thinks Izzy's the GOAT. Like, nobody's going to touch him. He's the new... like Anderson Silva, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that fight Robert won 3-2.
I do too.
Or very close.
And razor close.
Very close, yeah.
Should have been a split decision. Yeah. But wasn't it unanimous?
It was unanimous, yeah. Which is weird.
I would have been way more okay with it being a split for Izzy than a unanimous for Izzy, because it's like nobody saw it going the other way, not even one judge.
And I know we always talk about the like taking it from the champ thing. Yeah. But man, it's just the more and more it happens, it's like it's hard not to accept that you have to put on a show or you have to do something.
And with that being said, it's not like that's how we want it to be.
No.
That's how it is.
That's just how it is.
So, like, I talked to David about this. It's like people will say, oh, I don't believe in that. That's cool. Like, it's not about you believing in it. And it's no disrespect to, like, your view on it. It's just, like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody were to tell you smoking kills people and you didn't like it, I mean, it's cool. You don't have to like it.
Yeah. But
it's fucking true.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't like it either. I don't like that you have to beat the champ to beat the champ. Like, it should be like whoever won that fight, regardless of who holds the belt going in, wins that fight.
It should be completely unbiased.
Yeah.
It's like taking the belt is an extra step in the fight.
Exactly. And I feel like John Jones really set a precedent to this. Maybe even before that, or I mean, it was actually literally the same time, but John was beating people so handedly, but who was doing it at the same time that wasn't beating certain people handedly was GSP. Mm-hmm. He fought Johnny Hendricks and lost. Yeah. A lot of people would say handedly lost the first fight. Yeah. Or I think it was the second fight.
I think it was
the second fight, because the second fight was like he retired and then he came back later with Bisping. But a lot of people would say he lost that fight And then a lot of people will say, well, you got to beat the champ to beat the champ. But it's like, dude, if that was just a straight up fight, it would have been called the other way, I believe.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't know if that's just like the culture of these referees. These fucking judges, because there's no like standard to like what they have to know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was with Ryan or you or David, but I was saying like they should at least have to be like middle of the road in each like level of the sport. So like if I'm a judge, I should at least have to be like a purple belt.
Yeah.
Or have a
To
year of
understand.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Or have a year of striking.
Yeah.
So I understand what I'm looking at.
That's what I
You
would
don't
like
have
to
to be
know.
good.
Right.
Like,
just to understand what's
you know how many
going
shitty
on.
purple belts are out there? I might be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be great at these things.
Right.
Or even a purple or a blue belt. You don't have to be like the highest level. But you need to be aware. Yeah.
Just having an understanding of what's going on would help. And that would be an interesting thing. Like, I know, they always put the judges' names and shit like that, or they used to.
They do. They still do it.
And
It's
would be
public
interesting
information
to know the like criteria that you have to have in order to be a judge like that for a UFC event.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something like that.
I'm gonna say a lot, and I mean a lot. Primarily, have no background in the sport as far as that goes.
Because
It's just eyes.
I get it because of the like conflict of interest type thing. Because you don't want somebody that's into the UFC who might be biased towards one person or another. I get that point of it, but you think that they would have people that, like you said, have an understanding of the sport.
But at that point, then wouldn't you like? I'm speaking for myself, just to go off your point. I train, and if I wanted to be a judge, which I have judged before, but if I wanted to be a judge on a high level, I would always call unbiasedly because I would want my judging to be respected.
Right.
Because I feel like if I called the fight like unbiasedly, that would propel me into other opportunities. Yeah. If I keep calling them shitty, why would you hire me as like a judge? Yeah. Which I know a lot of it is the commission in the local area. Right. It's not like UFC is picking these judges, because then it could get dicey. Because then now you're becoming boxing and you're picking who's winning fights, and it's like, all right, what are we doing?
No, I get that for sure. But here's the thing also. Not everybody's that way.
Yeah.
Not everybody thinks that way.
That's true. I was just listening to Dave Smith on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
And he's like a stand-up comedian. He's with Legion of Skanks.
Okay.
Which is a really good podcast that's like up north in New York. But he was saying he heard somewhere that if you leave a fight to the judges' scorecards, you're messing with somebody's livelihood. But if you leave the fight up to the referee, you're leaving it up to their well-being, like their health. Mm-hmm. So, like, the fight in the hands of the referee is, like, he's calling them based off their health. Like, hey, you can't fight for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you leave it in the judge's hands, they're taking away someone's livelihood.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm going to call this for that guy, and now even if you need to eat, you need a car payment, you need a house note, like...
Yeah.
Tough shit. I like this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy might be a millionaire versus like you're a number one contender and you worked your ass off to get there. You're not getting paid like the champ's getting paid.
It's unfortunate that it's
a weird
extent.
It's weird because it's like
it's weird.
It is weird, dude. I don't know how to describe it any better than that. It's definitely weird because you have people that are like, for example, in the UFC, like the people that represent the UFC also represent some of the talent in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That's weird.
I just watched something on that, actually.
Yeah, so, like, what are we doing? Like,
what's going on there?
It's so much like the government. Like, not that I, like, get political or anything, but it's like...
No, it's...
Like, for example, Pfizer and, like, these, like... fucking news websites. I think it's Fox News that's like presented by Pfizer. Hey, doesn't that look weird?
Yeah.
You mean like y'all are pro Pfizer and like the vaccine and everything, and you're sponsored by them?
Yeah. No, it's weird.
No, it's weird.
It's like everybody's pockets and pockets,
Yeah, it's like
it's
it
sucks, but it's weird also
Yeah.
with the fight game because it's like
Did you ever see that movie?
man.
I do believe the movie's called Idiocracy. With the not Owen, the dude with the
think I
fucked up
did.
nose. It's his brother.
Owen Wilson and
It's not Owen Wilson, but it's just his brother. It's just his brother, and it's like
what is that about?
it's about the world being super fucking dumb. Like
I remember this movie, but I don't know if I ever
so, like
watched it.
the world has been sold off. Like damn, I can't remember the fucking water or the Gatorade. Luke Wilson. Okay, so
That's a terrible.
he's in the world like if the world kept going on, right?
Yeah.
And thirst quencher or something is like the water of the earth.
Right.
Like they took away water because they were so dumb. They were like, it doesn't quench your thirst. Like crops are thirsty, so why wouldn't we just give them this? So it's like that's what it reminds me of. Is like everything's so flamboyantly outrageous when it comes to like obviously you're in someone else's pocket.
Yeah.
You know? So like that'd be like if Gatorade
like
took
a
over the liquids of the earth.
It's like kind of a slap to the face almost, ain't it?
Yeah, because it's like,
a-
dude, we're stealing in front of you. You're not
Yeah.
noticing none of this.
And you don't say shit about it.
Yeah. I mean, even if we said shit about it, what could
are
we
you gonna
really do?
Yeah.
We would have to go there and do something.
Yeah, knock on the door.
I mean, they've done that.
Yeah, like what? I mean,
They stormed the fucking Capitol. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that was like
that was a big thing.
a peak of, like, people being, like, pissed the fuck off. And, like, I understand it was, like, prompted by something else. But, yeah, dude, like, Idiocracy is such a good... Like, if you're nervous about where the future is headed, watch that movie. You know? That shit, like, it was on repeat on Comedy Central, and it's like, if you were a kid in the 90s, like, if you grew up in the 90s, you saw this in the early 2000s. You know, because you're a part of that culture, and it was like, Comedy Central was booming, you know, it was like, Comedy Central Presents and fucking movies every weekend and like South Park and all that shit. They had Futurama, Family Guy, everything was on there.
Yeah.
But that was one of the movies that was on repeat.
Yeah, man. That's fight game is weird, man.
It's weird.
It gets sketchy too. It gets very sketchy, I feel like. But
That'd be like
man, I think there are a lot more like groups that are trying to do it straight up and that are like
trying.
yeah,
but it's like you gotta there needs to be more direction before you get too far. Like for example, Juan doesn't have a manager yet. You know? But he's headed towards like greatness, right?
Right.
You gotta hope that you find the right manager when you start, right?
Yeah.
And you don't just get fucking somebody that's gonna milk you dry.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate side of it is somebody seeing that and then trying to take advantage of that, you know.
Like your sister is a collegiate. That's what I said, collegiate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said.
I heard it.
That's what I said.
I heard it.
Collegiate.
Yeah.
Golf player.
Mm-hmm.
So if the people who represent her school, if they also represented her and they wanted to like, if they got paid, I don't know how like college sports works right now. No. Because I know it's like just transferred to where you can start getting sponsorships and stuff. If the people, just if they did, that's like say McDonald's sponsored her school, and then they also sponsored her, but like somebody else was sponsoring another school, like Burger King sponsored their rival school, but then they were individually allowed to get sponsors, but McDonald's was just paying them fucking $10 at her school. Yeah. But her friends at another school were getting paid like $10,000 from individual sponsors they're allowed to get. That's what it's like. Yeah. That's why. That's what that's like. Yeah. That's why fucking I love UFC. It's the fucking show, dude. Like, who doesn't want to watch that show? Yeah. But I feel better when I watch Bellator fights knowing these people are going home with checks. Yeah. Like, Bellator's paying them well, but also they're shorts, dude. They're fucking rocking sponsors. They're fucking rocking different shirts, shoes, whatever they really want to wear, whatever they can get money for, really. Yeah. It makes you feel bad for, like, these people that, like, I don't feel bad for, like, Sugar Sean because he has his shit like on Twitch and he's making more money outside of the UFC. But I'm worried about like people like we know people we've had on the couch that have been in the UFC that aren't getting paid their worth. Like I
That's
love
the
the UFC,
frustrating
but
part.
it's like
Well, and
at
it's
what
also,
point is enough money?
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. It's like, why does this have to go back to the UFC? It's like, bro, you've made enough, dude.
Yeah.
Like, really?
And you've kind of
What?
well, one, you've sold it. And even the people that are still in the UFC, you're with ESPN now. Who owns ESPN? Fucking Daddy Disney over there.
Yeah, straight up.
So,
What's
who's got more money than that?
Yeah, that's it, dude.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
So why are you trying to milk this for literally everything? I will never understand why they took that away and why they, tried to do the brand deal now. It's like, man, it just sucks.
And then the fucking Rock is the shoes now.
They could be doing so much more and making so much more money, per fighter.
This is the idea I had.
And now it's frustrating from a business standpoint because that advertisement is now no longer available. Because
You're talking about for smaller people like us, yeah.
Exactly.
Like if we're trying to get on there, yeah. Now we could get on Bellator,
right?
That'd be a different story. But this is what I thought I had a long time ago, and I think I talked to Cedric about this. Is like for 1 month out of the year, you can even pick your lowest grossing month, but that entire month proceeds are completely distributed amongst the active fighters.
Yeah.
So say the UFC makes like $400 million in a year and like their worst month is like $30 million for 1 month.
Yeah.
Take that $30 million and split it amongst your 500 fighters.
Yeah.
Maybe equally amongst ranks. Not like the number one ranked guy in the division, but like I would do it off as seniority. So like if you just signed, maybe you get a tiny check.
Yeah.
But if you're like 40 fights into the UFC, maybe you get the bigger check. You know what I'm saying? Like that you've proven your worth.
Yeah. And
so
you're
like
still there.
Yeah. Maybe none of them get $1 million check because like 30 million split amongst 500 people. Nobody should get $1 million, but it'll give you enough. Like, dude, what if we're fighting in the UFC? That little check that you get off that 1 month might be enough to buy a fucking house, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to split amongst that many people, and it's like there should be a UFC fighter appreciation month.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Without them fighters, it's just like when you do jiu-jitsu or something. Without your training partners, you would know shit.
Nothing, dude.
Because you can't train. It's not like cooking.
Yeah. You can't cook, but yeah,
you can cook by yourself
all the time.
You can self-teach yourself, and then you can be like, "Ooh, this tastes good to me," but you don't know if it tastes good to everybody. Yeah, it's like it's fucking wild. Like people do that, dude. UFC would be nowhere without the moments that are made by the fighters. Also, the fighters would be nowhere without the promotion that the UFC puts on. They would be other places, but it's like they put the money into the show. But at what point does like, dude, the show now? I can't imagine it getting any better.
Right.
So,
where's it going?
Yeah, where are you going? You're at your peak. So, we need to... I get that you're trying to spread the sport worldwide, but like the sport is worldwide, even if the UFC itself isn't.
Yeah.
Like one championship is
over
an age...
But the UFC is still worldwide, though. Like, they're still a fucking huge...
They are. I mean, they're not even close to the biggest. One championship is absolutely the biggest by a long shot.
Yeah.
But... UFC is the brand. UFC is the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Like, fucking give back, dude. Like, NFL players, you're on the practice squad.
Yeah.
You've made it. Money-wise. You might make $500,000 a year. Bro, I'm not making $500,000 in fucking 20 years.
Yeah. No, I completely... And you know what? And here's the thing, though, is that I think with all of the flack that they've gotten recently... Like, you're starting to see more people talk about it, and the fighters are becoming more open about it. Like, Francis has talked about it. I mean, shit, Jake Paul has been, like, is it Jake or Logan?
It's Jake.
Jake that's been talking to Dana about the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
I think with all of the stuff we're starting to see about it, I'm hoping that here soon there is going to be a change. You know, I know they just did the Venom deal, what? 6 months ago?
And they redid the pay scale, but it's only different by, like, a few $100.
Yeah, it's like $500, I think. But... I'm hoping that with that happening, with all this kind of talk about it, I'm hoping there's going to be a change soon. There needs to be a change soon. You know?
The issue with that is it's like... I'm not even
Well, it's also weird, too, because it's like... I don't know. We could talk about this for 2
Yeah,
hours.
I'm calling my end on it because it could get off on some other shit that, like...
Yeah.
Oh, we talk about change forever, and it just fucking never happened.
Let's just keep talking about change.
I mean, we should. We should always keep the conversation open and going, but it's like we can only talk about it so long until some action happens. And like with the UFC, it's on them to do it. You can't force a private or public or whatever. I think they're a private company still. I don't think they've gone public. I don't know shit about the stocks or anything, but you can't I can't force UPS to charge me less for a package weight.
Yeah. No,
I can want them to, but I can't force them to.
Yeah.
We
can talk about it.
Yeah, they did the footwork to make it what it is, so it's like they get to set the price, right? Yeah. If it's not federally regulated, like MMA pay is not regulated by anybody. It's like your own subcontractor.
And I think they kind of fucked up in the beginning because they didn't want any of this to be happening, period.
So, what do you mean?
Like with like the beginning of the UFC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They didn't want... I'm pretty sure it was McCain that was like, we're not going to show any of this shit on TV.
Yeah, on cable.
We're not going to, or like, what is it called when you get...
syndicated?
No.
For TV?
Not that specifically, but like...
approval. Censorship.
I'm guessing it's like approval from the commission, like the state commissions and shit like that.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know the word,
but like the government was like, no, we're not gonna allow this.
I thought you were about
to
say gabagool for a second.
No.
You're like, but the
gabagool. They didn't want it to happen in the beginning, but if they had just openly been about it and accepted it, maybe there would have been a little bit more help with this in the long run. But I mean, that's also fucking 20
another
years
issue you're gonna have is like, have you ever been around a millionaire? I know I have. Okay, so I know I have. But you ever been around someone rich? You see how they move?
Yeah.
They're a little frugal.
Yeah.
They're like kind of like the people that really are rich, like really rich.
You don't become rich by spending rich, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you are rich like that, it doesn't last long. Like, for example, in the music industry, like, you'll get people that fucking blow everything on flexing. Yeah. And it's, like, cool, but...
Where is it at?
Yeah, who in your family has houses or...
$400,000 chain around your neck.
Yeah, cool. That could have changed...
Yeah.
That could have changed a school.
Yeah.
Oh, $400,000? Put $400,000 in a school in Africa and get them, like, real nice books... You could build them a fucking building with that kind of money in Africa.
This is the kind of shit that makes me so upset, is talking about shit like this. Because it's like, it's literally like, it's fucking just blowing money, dude. Where you have the opportunity to make an actual change and do something with it. And like, some artists or, people that have had opportunities like that or people that have blown up have done it the correct way. Like Nip was one of the people that was really good about it. Yeah. I mean, Young Dolph was really good about it too. Like he purchased houses for his children every year, every birthday they had, I think it was. So now they each have like 6 properties or something. I didn't know that. That's dope. Like, so now they have that as income, like doing stuff like that. Correct. There's a correct way to do it. But now this like new generation of shit, it's like you see, like, I mean, fucking Lil Uzi's what, $1 million like jewel in the front of his head
thing? Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? What does that even mean?
What? I mean, and Yachty's got what, $3 million in watches that he doesn't wear.
Oh yeah,
bro. What?
Fucking, I don't
like.
Even
it's
know.
Like that kind of shit. Just, I mean, it makes my blood boil. Blood starts to boil.
My butthole. What?
But yeah, man. Well, fuck, dude. Before we get out of here. Fucking, so this weekend you're gonna be in Jacksonville, right? Yeah. And then the weekend after that, or not? Then the weekend after.
So this weekend I'm in Jacksonville. The next weekend is seminars.
Yep, and then the weekend after that
we're gonna be in Lakeland.
Yeah, we go down south.
And you're gonna compete in the tournament.
Yeah, March 5th, baby.
Hey, that's gonna be crazy,
Yeah,
boy.
fuck yeah, dude.
It's a road trip with the boy.
Road trip with the boy. Get to spend some time in fucking South Florida, which is Cody's favorite place.
I fucking hate it.
Get to compete, which is gonna be sick.
I hate Miami. Everything not here is Miami. Okay.
Yeah, anything east of Pensacola is actually east of Tallahassee.
Hey, guess what?
Miami.
Lakeland, change it.
To Miami.
Make me like you.
Lakeland's a beautiful place.
Honestly, Lakeland, the city itself, I do like Lakeland.
Yeah.
Lakeland's pretty.
Just stop talking shit, you know?
I don't like Orlando. I don't like Tampa.
Well, we're going to go to Tampa after to go watch the fights, so.
Are we?
Probably.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, man, that'll be sick because that same day,
Uh-huh.
the same day of the competition is the Covington and
fuck.
Masvidal fight.
You're right.
So we have to watch them.
Yeah, but I think we're going to be in a hotel.
Yeah, we're
in
not
Lakeland.
We're not going to be in the hotel for that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I got...
No, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
No, I know some of
So-
your people, bro.
So, if you're in South Florida, which you're not, but if you are, we'll be there. So,
yeah, dude.
But fuck yeah, man. You want to get the fuck up out of here?
I do. I love you, dude, and I appreciate you doing this with us.
Yeah, I love you, man. All right, well, we're going to get the fuck up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. Yee, 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 yee.